Twilight is one of those rare series that never truly disappears. It first arrived in 2005 as a young adult novel by Stephanie Meyer, but it quickly became much more than a book. It became a cultural phenomenon, selling millions of copies, dominating bestseller lists, and sparking endless conversations. By the time the movies were released between 2008 and 2012, Twilight was everywhere. People lined up at midnight premieres, teams were formed to argue over Edward versus Jacob, and the love story of Bella Swan and Edward Cullen became part of pop culture history. But here's the question. Why is Twilight so loved even today? Why does it still inspire memes, fan art, nostalgia, and even new adaptations decades later? The answer is more nuanced than just saying it is a fun vampire romance. First, Twilight tapped into universal feelings of longing and alienation. Bella is an outsider who never feels like she fully belongs until she meets Edward. That theme of loneliness, paired with the thrill of being truly seen and desired, struck a chord with millions of readers. Edward's character embodied the idea of the dangerous yet protective love interest, the forbidden romance that feels irresistible. For teenagers, especially those who felt like outsiders themselves, this story felt like an escape and a validation all at once. Second, the films amplified the obsession. With misty forests, moody soundtracks, and performances from Kristen Stewart, Robert Pattinson, and Taylor Lautner, the movies brought the fantasy to life in a way that was easy to fall into. They were not just adaptations of the books, they were events. Watching Twilight became a shared cultural experience. Whether you loved it, hated it, or secretly enjoyed it, you could not escape it. But Twilight's story does not end in the 2010s. In fact, it has had a surprising second life in recent years. Social media platforms like TikTok have reignited interest in the saga. Memes, parodies, and edits have turned the film's awkward lines and dramatic scenes into beloved internet moments. Fans joke about "Bella, where the hell have you been, Loca?" or recreate the vampire baseball scene. What was once taken so seriously is now embraced with humor, irony, and nostalgia. This mix of playful critique and genuine affection has created what many call the Twilight Renaissance. Part of the love also comes from the comfort the series provides. Many fans who first read or watched Twilight as teenagers now return to it as adults, describing it as a warm, familiar escape. Even if the story has flaws, it reminds them of a simpler time in their lives. Watching or reading Twilight again is like revisiting a first crush. It may not be perfect, but the emotions are powerful. And the fandom has grown more nuanced too. Instead of defending the series against criticism, many fans now openly acknowledge its imperfections. The relationship between Bella and Edward has been called toxic. Some storylines have been labeled problematic. But the point is, fans embrace it anyway. They laugh at its flaws, celebrate its melodrama, and proudly claim it as their trash. This kind of self-aware love has only made the fandom stronger. Twilight has also found new creative life beyond the original books and movies. Parody musicals and fan projects reimagine the story through different lenses, sometimes queering the narrative or amplifying its campy qualities. Meanwhile, studios are keeping the saga alive with re-releases in theaters and even a new animated adaptation told from Edward's perspective. The story keeps being rediscovered and reshaped for new generations. But perhaps the most enduring reason Twilight is so loved is because it offers a fantasy of eternal, overwhelming romance. It is not subtle. It is not restrained. It is a love story that insists love can conquer death, danger, and destiny itself. For all its melodrama, it delivers a catharsis that many people crave. The idea of being chosen, of being loved so intensely that someone would fight the world to be with you, is powerful. Twilight may never win over every critic. It will always have detractors who see it as shallow, melodramatic, or poorly written. But that has never stopped fans from embracing it. Its mix of fantasy, romance, and emotional intensity continues to resonate. Whether through nostalgia, parody, or genuine passion, Twilight has proven it has staying power. So why is Twilight so loved? Because it is more than a story about vampires. It is about the ache of longing, the thrill of forbidden romance, the comfort of nostalgia, and the joy of sharing a world with millions of others who feel the same. For some it is comfort. For others it is comedy. For many it is both. And like its immortal characters, Twilight refuses to fade away.